What's going on, guys? Marcus from Wall Street Assassins back at it again with another video. And today we have a lot to talk about. A lot of things happened today. We had CPI data. We had the FOMC minutes happening today, talking about tapering. And we actually had Joe Biden make a guest appearance today. So for those of you who do not know, tapering is basically the process of pulling back the stimulus that the government had basically given us during the overall pandemic period, where they were helping overall companies and stuff grow. And that's basically causing fear in the overall market. So let's watch the CNBC clip over here.
Yeah, well, what we know is that the Fed did have a discussion about what that taper would look like when it occurs. The Fed minutes show that the participants do not believe that substantial further progress had yet been made. However, there was a discussion about how to taper and whether MBS, whether those mortgage-backed securities, should be sold off first or perhaps more rapidly than treasuries, because, as the minutes say, there was concern about valuation pressures in housing markets. However, other participants said that they should be reduced. Treasury and MBS purchases should be tapered at the same time. That would be in line with previous Fed actions and with previous Fed communication. So there's already this discussion around sort of the process of tapering and what should go first, MBS or treasuries, or whether they should move together. In addition, the minutes show that a substantial majority of participants judged that the risk to inflation projections were actually tilted to the upside because of those supply chain disruptions that we've seen across so many sectors, autos, semiconductors, etc. And that a few participants did say that economic conditions could be improved more quickly than expected back in the spring, and that could move forward the expectations for Fed funds liftoff. We saw that in the dot.
So that's basically what's going on right now. The Feds are basically starting to ease off of the money that they're providing for the overall economy, which is actually causing fear in the overall market. So we've been getting some very choppy situations going on. Not only that, we have inflation fears, people scared that their bacon, egg, and cheese is going to be $15. So a lot of things are going on with the overall market, and that's what makes the market overall interesting, right? Knowing when to trade, knowing when to press the gas, knowing when to press the brakes makes it very fun when it comes into trading. But overall, we got to focus on direction. And right now, we haven't really had any direction. So we definitely want to watch tomorrow. Tomorrow we have jobless claims coming out in the morning. So we want to watch the breakout from 436. We could start possibly pushing up towards 440, which has acted as a previous resistance. The SMA line over here has acted as previous resistance multiple times. So we definitely want to watch to see if we get some type of push up, because today we got all that information and the market didn't really drop as much as people expected. It kind of just shrugged off the news as if it already expected that news to happen. So if we start to pull back tomorrow, which is totally possible, I want to watch it break below 433. Once we get below 433 has actually been some type of support zone. I think once we break 433, we can start testing 431, maybe even getting down towards that 425. Not too many stocks I want to keep my eyes on, especially in this kind of market. We've been watching Tesla for the 806 break. We actually got the 806 break. Let's drop down towards the 20-day chart. And we actually started to push up towards 815, where it's actually finding some type of resistance. So we want to see if we break and hold above 815 before we could actually start trusting Tesla for some more possible upside. I think once we break 815, we basically started to taper off over here around like that 830 level over here. So definitely want to watch to see what happens with that. Tesla does have earnings on the 20th, so definitely want to keep an eye on Tesla. It may actually start to move big before earnings, so definitely keep an eye on Tesla, set your alerts, and keep Tesla on your watch list. Next one we want to talk about, and the last one I really want to talk about, is a firm. We've been talking about this possible gap fill pattern. We had a recent high at that 145 level over here. You can see that we basically dropped, went sideways. People started to buy the breakout from $80. Nice step and staircase pattern. And I said, watch out for that possible pullback. We had the pullback, and now we're basically made a new high at 150. So what do we want to look at for a firm? We want to see some type of continuation. It hasn't really been trading any higher than this in the past. If we look at previous charts, this is the highest the stock has ever been. This is the 5-year chart right now. Let's drop back down towards the 180 day. I think we could possibly go a little bit higher here, especially if people start to catch on over here and we start to hold above that 150. I wouldn't be really wouldn't be shocked if we basically make a $10 move and start pushing up towards 160. Let's see if that happens. It's a little bit more overextended over here. If we do start to pull back, brace yourselves for the break of 145, then we could start basically getting down towards 142 and maybe lower. So going into this choppy market, make sure you guys know when to press the gas, know when to press the brakes, and keep an eye out on the overall market, right? Want to watch to see if we're going to break those highs, if we're going to break those lows. We definitely want to see how the jobless numbers affect the market tomorrow, how inflation fears is going to affect the market tomorrow,